So this video is on the subject of Disney and the seemingly woke trend in producing movies. And if I understand what Snedmeister was asking about, how he felt, where it seems as if our entertainment media is being injected with social commentary or some sort of a social statement. It's an interesting time. It seems to me whenever I see, I'm guessing you may have a subscription for Netflix. Whenever you see a Netflix show, it seems almost as if they have to check off on certain boxes, like all the different areas of inclusivity that we have to hit. Do you have a black character? Check. Do you have a woman? Check. Do you have a woman of color? Check. Do you have people in a homosexual relationship? Check. Do you have a transgender person to male? Check. Do you have a transgender person to female? Check. Do you have a transgender person to female dating a transgender person to male, but then switched back to male because they realized that they were in fact a homosexual, so now it's a transgender male, which was originally a male, dating what is actually a female, which actually makes them cisgendered? Check. I don't know. Shay had a good point about it a while back. I think he brought it up in a way first, that it seemed like just put up shit that they think is gonna piss off white people. Like, how come there's so many darkies on the TV? and maybe that's the case. I don't know. I think of a couple of things. You know how, and I don't know if this is true or not, that rumored social score that China and some of the other socialistic countries use, is that a possibility? Maybe. I will say one thing. I don't feel like they think very much of their audience. I will give you an example. Say you watch a movie like Indiana Jones. Do you identify with a person in the movie? Do you need to identify with a person in the movie? Is it important what the color is of the hero? Like, in order to entertain or be entertained by a movie, does the hero need to be the same color and religion as myself? And if the person who makes that story, if the person who makes that movie thinks so, what do they think of me? Can I not be entertained by something other than myself? In the case of Disney, taking the turn of The Little Mermaid, does a person need to be black to appreciate the new Little Mermaid? I don't think so. I haven't watched it. I watched the Black Cinderella movie though, and my problem is whenever I see Black Cinderella, that makes me think of Black Jesus. And when I think of Black Jesus, I think of Black Santa Claus. And when I think of Black Santa Claus, man, I know them Christmas presents going to be good. I'll be getting me a chain and all kinds of other good stuff. I will say, to have philosophy or social commentary injected into entertainment, injected into fiction, isn't anything that's all that new. I believe that many writers have been closet philosophers who inject social philosophy into fictional narratives. I will say though, in the case of Netflix, and maybe this is piggybacking off of where your point is, Sned, and forgive me if I'm hijacking your point, are these woke when I use the term woke, I'm talking, you know, pro gay, pro people of color, pro people who don't have a penis. You know, is that actually becoming a franchise unto of itself? Like, you figure, you know, so long as you make that movie pro gay, it's guaranteed to do X amount of dollars. Because, again, not thinking very much of your audience. Well, if I put a gay hero in it, well then guaranteed the gays are going to tune in. I think that's kind of ugly if you look at it that way. But I will say what is crazy. It becomes a subject that you almost can't even talk about. I mean, we can here because we're friends, and I like to think of us as having a fairly open mind. But how are you actually going to open up something that needs to be talked about socially, like on Facebook or wherever you do your thing, you know? Like, people going back to Black Little Mermaid. Would that be Black Little Mermaid or Little Black Mermaid? I think it's more like Little Black Mermaid. Going back to Little Black Mermaid, is there a conversation that can be had out of that? Absolutely. Is there a conversation that can be had based on how a person responds visually to a meme? Oh man, absolutely. And you know what? Furthermore, there should be a conversation to be had. But we don't get that. And it's a shame. And I think it's evil too, because the sooner I think you have that conversation, the sooner you get past that bullshit, you know? The sooner you build up them calluses of thicker skin, and we can move on to important things, you know? But, man, I don't know if in the new Indiana Jones movie there's like a gay Indiana Jones, or do we have like a female Indiana Jones? I don't know. I don't know what happened there. I know, to take a turn English, I know Doctor Who is like female now, right? And I could like really care less. It was still good to me. There's an aspect of female heroes, like the movie Sucker Punch and everything else, that I personally dig. I think that's really, I enjoy seeing a superpowered, large-breasted female doing their thing, you know. But good looking out, everybody. I will say Sned gets Grand Pop of the Year for the Caravan. Brilliant, utterly brilliant to have that, and that's a wonderful reason to be off of YouTube for the weekend, I gotta say. So, all right, we'll catch y'all later. 8 minutes back at you, Sned. How you like that?